Hello, everyone. It is I, once again, the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane, back at it again for another Azure Lane stream. Let me get my chat rolling. Let me see, which one is this? Properties and paste. Okay, chat is rolling. Edwin Deckers is in the building. He says, "Hi, OG. What is up, Edwin Deckers? And how's your day?" Get this thing rolling. Yeah, we have another American event coming up, and I'm actually really excited for it because we're getting another Cleveland, and we're getting Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin, man. Okay, I need to do a sound check real fast. Let me see. Okay, that's acceptable. That is of acceptable quality. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I was grinding this event. Speaking of which, I need to rent. Okay, I'm gonna use literally all my tickets on this skin. Because at the moment, I don't want to buy it, but it's a great skin. All my ticket vouchers. She's already my secretary. Yeah. Oh, Disbeat Gaming is in the building. He says hi. What's up, Disbeat Gaming? How's your day? Edwin, I am good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. All right. Yeah, so next event skins kind of worry me. Oh man, those skins. Ugh. Why is okay, I like actually Washington skin, but the Booba. What is up with this insanely sized, ridiculous Booba? Booba is we need a return to all natural size Booba. I'm good killing time before I got to work. All right, that's cool. Yeah, the Booba. They really need like oh man, someone needs to contact Yostar and be like, listen, we like the skins. You're doing great work. We love what you've done with Azure Lane. But please, for the love of all that is holy, tone down the booba just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. My day is almost over. All right. Glad to hear it. Yeah. Man. Yeah. Why can't they tone down the booba just a little bit? That's all I want to know. All right. This is a good fleet to clear this. All right. Although there isn't much in the event shop that I want now, because I did get that Firefly, the plane. I did get the plane. And I was like, all right, I got another one. It's more of a collector's item at this point. Because the plane in the event shop right now is not especially useful. But, I mean, you never know. We could end up getting, like, I don't know, some future Royal Navy carrier that has a special use for this plane, you know, or is synced with this plane. You never know. Nemo Namikaze. Now the Booba's all good. They know their audience. Okay, so that's probably here's the thing. I imagine they go with whatever makes them money. I imagine that's how they're working it. But For me, I'm like, the booba is too big. Just tone it down just a little bit. But I mean, who knows? They might be those skins that have the insanely sized large booba. They might be the ones that make all the money. I know if they're running, they might just run it as a business. Me personally, I'm like, man, can we return to realistic sized booba? I like the skins overall though. Especially Washington has a wonderful skin. I will say this, the new Washington skin, it's it's got a certain appeal. Reruns are okay, but kind of not really something I get into much. All right. Sex sells. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. I kind of just do it for the event shop points. They should keep to proportions on the booba sizes. Yeah, realistic proportions. That's all I want. Realistic proportions. Yeah. I guess that might be too much to ask. That might be too much to ask. I hope not, but the booba size is getting. I don't know. Like, see that loading screen that appeared just now. That's like appropriate, you know. On the bigger side of appropriate. Yeah, I think I might just clear some of Operation Siren while I'm here. Dang, I left plenty of Operation Siren kind of open. Although I have been hungry for gold parts, mainly because I don't have enough plain parts to upgrade the second Sky Raider that I got. And on top of that, one of those Levitchkin 9s, like the Russian fighter that's a UR. I need to get some more UR parts, or gold parts. Most of the girls in AL now must have massive back and shoulders issues at this point. Yeah. Yeah, this is true. They must all need a really good chiropractor. A really, really, really good chiropractor, you know? Yeah, that chiropractor's probably, making bank. Probably having the time of his life, too. Think about it. I would love to be the ship girl's chiropractor. But lots of ship girls have big boobs, like in the anime, they make fun of it. I mean, it's true. I'm like, can we get some more realistic proportionate size booba, Yeah. Overall, though, I do think they did a little bit of that with the Italian event. I was like, all right, it works. It works. Yeah, Azure Lane, it's still making bank, though. So, I guess you gotta trust that whatever they're doing is working. Funny subject though. So on one of my War Thunder streams, we had a demon time, and the topic that came up was actually robot waifus. Yeah, robot waifus. It's gonna get strange. I'm gonna wait until a little bit later in the stream to bring this topic up again. But yeah, this is a subject that has been on people's minds. Oh wait, they really should update the upside at this point. Also excited for PR8 and Chapter 16. Yeah, I'm actually thinking upside. It's gotten somewhat monotonous. Like now, it's still good for testing out your ships, and it's also still good for collecting gold. Like the gold parts specifically, I mean. Yeah. Also, I think they should see. I would play Opsai if there was a lot more XP you could get from Opsai. Opsai is like, I don't know, the XP could use some reconfiguring because you run through Operation Siren, you get just a little bit XP. Main campaign, big XP. Have you seen the 3D dorm for Anchorage? I'm not a fan of her outfit. Her personality and the room say daughter, but the outfit says otherwise. Yeah. Yeah. I have not actually seen it. Like, I'd never go into that. I've not gone into that room. I'm like, I should probably take a look. But I heard that they used her swimsuit skin for that room, which is strange because they didn't do that for Sirius. But yeah, apparently they used her swimsuit skin for that room, and I'm like, evidently, someone had a favorite in there, you know? So someone at Yostar has a favorite Anchorage skin. A preference, if you will. PR8, I've been ready for however chapter 16. Oh, PR8, I've been ready for. However, chapter 16, I'm not ready for. I'm still on 15.3. Oh, Blitz is in the building. He says, hello there. How's your day, Blitz? Because not... Yeah, hey, I understood you, Disbeat. Yeah, so I'm interested in what they're going to do for chapter 16. Because I'm like, I like to think I'm ready, but chapter 15 was quite surprising. I mean, I managed to still get through it, but I'm like, I think I got chapter 16 too. Ugh. Bring it on, you know? I can handle some chapter 16. That'll be an interesting stream when I think about it, because I'm like, let's see, what other ships did we get now that I can use? And I've been typically using faction fleets. And I'm like, I'm wondering if I could still clear chapter 16 with the same faction fleet or slightly modified one that I used for chapter 15. Level cap increase for 16. I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do. I mean, because I already have some ships that have all the XP needed to get to like level 130 if they do that. I have actually plenty of ships that I can just hit the button and they all go to level 130. Alright, done work on my essay due for Friday. Arranged a meeting with my tutor about that story possibly being a part of my uni course for extra credits. Alright. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Chapter 16 will be interesting. I'm waiting later for the stream to bring up the Demon Time topic. But those of you that watched my War Thunder stream, y'all know what it is already. Yeah, I'm wondering who they're next gonna put in the dorm room. Because we got, let's see, we had Sirius. Now there's Anchorage. But now I'm like, to me, a safe bet would be Prince Eugen. Mainly because she is still one of the most popular ships. She, as far as I know, her and okay, I think one of the top 3 most popular was like Prince Eugen and Belfast, and there's a third one I'm forgetting. I forget the third one. Atago could be in there too. I could see Atago being the next one in the dorm. Imagine chapter 16, more focus on battleships, W. Okay. I mean, if it's going to focus on battleships, I already have a plan for that. What I'm concerned about if they do in 16 is imagine this. Imagine you get one boss that's light armor and another boss that's heavy armor. Like, what if they mix the armor types of the bosses that you fight? I'm like, that would be kind of twisted, but that's something I would do, you know? So we have Yorkie meta and Hornet meta. We still don't have Enti meta coming home yet. Sadness. Yeah? Yeah, she's only one of the sisters left. But we know what she looks like, at least. SAP guns for the win, then. Well, I mean... yeah, I'm thinking. I'm like, that might be interesting. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I have a plan for that. If it's one, like, let's say you fight two bosses at the same time, one is light and one is heavy. I do have a plan for that. Yorkie meta is such a baddie. Oh god. Yeah, I mean, okay, I kind of like Hornet meta a little bit more. Just a little bit. Hornet meta is like, oh. Well, I'll be damned. Okay, I'm gonna need to probably change this fleet to another one for clearing this zone. See, I'm trying to grind up, oh boy, wait a second. Alright then. Say, huh? You're like, huh? Yeah, I'm trying to grind up Benson. Anti-meta's been in the game as long as the game's been out pretty much and still can't get her to come to Yostar. Give up anti-meta already, or at least a retro for anti. I would be fascinated to see what the Enterprise retrofit would look like. She is one ship I really do think is... I've been hoping for a retrofit for, but I get the feeling they're not going to do that until near the end of Azur Lane. Like, right around the time they release Yamato, Enterprise gets a retrofit. Maybe something like that. But Enterprise, whoever designed her skill is a genius because she is still relevant and they haven't changed her a single bit since the game started. She is still 100% like usable in virtually every situation, and her skill still makes her like one of the top carriers. Like whoever plotted out Enterprise in the game skill, genius. Total genius. Okay, I'm not gonna have you fight them. I'm gonna have, let's see, you fight them. Alright, even though you're probably more geared for heavy armor, but we'll see how this goes. This fleet is more of a heavy armor fleet, but I want to see how they do on light armor. Actually, I'm thinking about the suicide boats because I'm like, that's gonna probably be a factor. It's gonna be a lot of suicide boats. It's one of the reasons I always thought Plymouth is probably like, because I remember I cleared chapter 15 using Plymouth, but that main gun mount +2 on Plymouth was a game changer for basically anything involving the suicide boats, really anything, really. Plymouth is a beast, still the perfect light cruiser. Retro would have to be as CN1. No, they're not going to do that. see. Hey, OG, long time no watch. Oh, what's up, Inabin? How's your day? She did get a retrofit during the war. That is true. She did. She got a whole bunch. She got completely modernized during the war. So I'm like, I imagine that retrofit for her would be powerful, because yeah, they changed up everything for her. They gave her a whole bunch more anti-aircraft guns, new radar, you know, new deck essentially. So I would be interested to see what she would look like as a retrofit in Azur Lane. I like it. The Enterprise retrofit idea. I find fascinating. All right, which one of these am I going to clear next? I still haven't cleared these yet. Yeah, these got to get cleared ASAPidly. That's actually something that that's actually something one of my bosses used to say. ASAPidly. Sort of like it's a word that I could not stand hearing, but then after you heard it so many times, you start using it. One of those words. Or insane would be the new Gerald F.R. Ford before she even commissions. That would break the game, I think. See, it's funny how in AL she's still usable years after the game comes out. In World of Warships, she was so broken they had to remove people's ability to get her and only release her for events after nerfs. I approve. I approve 100%. Shuttle Killer, nice stream name. Because I almost got fired for going demon time on my coworker just now. Oh, dang. Okay, I almost got fired for a joke I said. Okay, so... Alright, so... I'll say the joke. So one time, and it was a demon time type of joke. So, I was working at a security facility, because I used to work as a security guard, and I was working at an office. Now, keep in mind, this is in California. So in California, everybody's politically correct. So they even have you sign an agreement that says, you know, I will not make... It was like, okay, so I don't remember what was in my contract, but it was something along the lines of, I will not marginalize certain peoples. And it had this long wording to the text. So anyway, I'm chilling there, and there's another vetter, and we immediately connected. It was awesome. We immediately became a dynamic duo of epic proportions in that office. So one day, he shows me a video, and the video is of Trigglypuff. So if any of you remember Trigglypuff, it's basically a woman at a college who has clearly emotional issues. Does anyone remember Trigglypuff? Or is it just... Okay, so it was that video, essentially. So I'm watching the video, and I'd never seen it before. And I laughed. I laughed at the video because I thought it was funny. So he said a joke that was not very correct. And keep in mind, this is one of my first jobs after I got out of the Navy. So I still have, sense of humor that doesn't, my IDGAF is still broke. My IDGAF meter is my, completely broke. So I'm sitting there, and what I did not know was an HR lady came up and was like, "Oh my God, what are you guys laughing at?" Well, she didn't say, "Oh my God." She's like, "What are you laughing at?" And my friend, I could sort of see, was getting a little like, uh-oh. But so he shows her the video of Trigglypuff, and she said something equivalent to, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that," because she heard the joke. So she heard the joke and she goes, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that. That joke is wrong." And she looked at me and she goes, "Tony, we laughed." And she was looking at me to agree with her for some reason. Maybe it's just because I'm black. I don't know. But I think she was looking to me to agree to her. She goes, "Come on, Tony. You know this is wrong." And I said well, what I said was, "All right, guys, come on. This is cruel. Someone needs to put this whale back in the ocean." Yeah, that got me a trip to the HR office. That's all that happened. Like, nothing bad happened, but they were like, we don't make jokes like that here. Yeah, so, probably no skirt, seeing how the modern designs are going. You mean no skirt? Do you mean for, Enterprise retrofit? No skirt? See, they've already done like modified versions of the Navy uniform, but what I have not seen is the whites. So imagine this, imagine they retrofit, and this uniform is nicknamed the Milkman uniform, because it's the dress whites, they are completely white, and they have a collar. So it's nicknamed the Milkman uniform. I just thought of that. So basically, I imagine they would do something where Enterprise looks like, because she's wearing she's doing the dress blues in her default skin. Like, that's a offshoot of a actual Navy uniform that the Navy uses today. So I imagine they would do the same thing, but with dress whites. The Milkman uniform. That would be hilarious. Well, got to go. Have a great stream. Alright, take it easy, Dispy. I feel like they'll do the Enterprise 2 rather than the retrofit route. I don't think they will. I hope not, but I really don't think they will. Because there was no, like, this is the World War II Enterprise. Like, if you do Enterprise 2, that's a whole other war. Whole other generation of technology. I really don't think they'll do the 2. And if they did do the 2, it wouldn't feel right. Just retrofit Enterprise. All she needs is a retrofit. Oh yeah, I remember her kick. Many times in 6th, I was in a similar spot. The Navy whites for the U.S. and Royal Navy is so cool and sleek. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine they would sort of... Actually, you know, now I'm looking at it, North Carolina kind of does that, but she has, like, it's a full-on dress. Yeah. It's like a... North Carolina kind of does it for the dress whites. Have you seen the Apocarthy Diaries, OG? Apocarthy Diaries. Is that a book with all the recipes in it? Or is that an anime? Because there's been... I've been seeing advertisements for this thing called the Apothecary of something. And it's basically a bunch of old, all-natural remedies for, like, I don't know, things involving your health. Something like that. They did Bismarck's V, though. Yeah, but Bismarck's V was like something... That's different. To me, that is very different. Bismarck's V was an actual planned ship by the Germans. And to be fair, it makes sense when they do it for the Germans, because if it was designed by them during World War II and they didn't build it, and keep in mind, all the major German ships have already been introduced in the game. Like, who are we missing? Like Admiral Scheer. Oh, the Holstein something. Like the battleship that fired the first shots of World War II. Yeah, it's actually one of the few World War I German battleships they were allowed to keep. So we're missing that battleship in, and we're missing like Admiral Scheer, I think. All the other major German ships, I mean, we got them already pretty much. Like they have to do, and keep in mind, there's for a faction that is so popular as Iron Blood, it makes sense that they would, be trying to pull stuff out of their hats, or trying to go the extra length for them. Oh, Nico H is in the building. How's your day, Nico H? He says, "What's up, OG?" NC has the old woman's version with her boobs on show. Blitz, that's fair. Fair assessment, yes. I wish I had this one. She's a good ship, I'll tell you that. I'm glad I got her. They'll do a rerun eventually, so you'll get her. Nope, yes, anime. Okay, I have not seen Apothecary Diaries. Is it good? It must be good if you mention it. It's an anime, but was probably a manga first. The only thing Iron Blood have are blueprints and fantasy ships. True. Like, I mean, all the major ships, that's all they have left now. Except for I need to look up her name. Cuz I put her in the I put her in my Discord cuz now it's going to. Okay, let me see this. New ship possibilities. She should be in here. We talked about her in here somewhere. Yeah. Schleswig-Holstein. So this is a battleship the Germans had during World War II, and it was the first, or it fired the first shots of the war. Because like right before the Germans were going to invade, they sent that ship to Poland for like, what the premise was some kind of, peaceful mission. But that ship was fully loaded with ammunition. And it fired the shots that were the signal for the German army to invade. So that's a very important ship. I don't know why that's not in Azur Lane yet, but they probably are going to introduce her, sometime. That's one ship we're missing from the Germans. Yeah, and Admiral Scheer. Okay, let me move on to clear the rest of these. And okay, I may use one of these, two of these, three of these. Actually, Benson needs a little extra. Okay. Alright, you say that Enterprise 2 is after World War II, but we already have Admiral Nakhimov, who was planned in the Cold War, in the game. Well, yes, but still. I mean, the Soviets don't have much either in Azur. Like, to me, it makes sense they go the extra length for, Northern Parliament, because they didn't have too many ships, and they need to be, if you need them competitive in the game as a faction. And then any ship that Germany planned while it was World War II Germany makes sense. Yeah, they didn't build Admiral Nakhimov, though. But I'm like, they actually did build Enterprise, the next Enterprise. And that one is too far out of reach of World War II, I think. It's too far into the future. Like, if you introduced Enterprise 2 in Azur Lane, to me, it would break the game. Then you got to introduce jets and all this other stuff. Korean War jets. Zwei just seems a cope, or a cope out, since there's still so many German ships left. Should do real ships before paper, and then paper for factions with the too few real ships. Okay, so to me, I thought they were actually gonna make like, okay, when the next Ironblood event was coming, where they had Bismarck's Spy, I was wondering if it was gonna be Admiral Shear, because I was like, she's missing. Schleswig-Holstein is missing. She could be a UR. Could have made a UR out of her somehow. It would probably not be a very strong UR because she is a World War I ship, but still. I agree. I want the real ships before we start jumping to paper ships. At least I got the OG Bismarck. Yeah, she's also good with carriers, and she's very usable with Fitz. You know, Fritz. Admiral Shear. Pass to say hi, chat and OG. Have a good life. Oh, take it easy, Sitio. It is an okay anime to watch, but I dropped it. Ha. Okay. Koenig, Bayern, Derflinger. Yeah, okay, if we're going for World War I ships, there's plenty more to add for the Germans. Plenty more Iron Blood ships could come from World War I, if they want to go that route. There's also a lot of submarines we're missing. Like a lot of submarines. What about missing Sakura Empire ships or Sardegna Empire? I mean, there's plenty of... Well, they still have quite a few ships from both of those to go through. Like, there's still time for those factions. There's plenty more where those came from. Blame World of Warships for PR crap. I mean, World of Warships, I know, now they're working with Azur Lane, so... Manju only seems to add old ships prior to World War II if their only significant or a faction is low on ships. Look at the Chinese. That is very true. Yeah, they did that for sure with Ironblood. I'm like, Northern Parliament. I mean, technically, the Gangit and her sisters are all World War I ships that became Soviet ships. So I'm like, they were active during World War II though, you know? So I'm like, those are 100% legitimate. I'm like, who else has World War I ships besides Ironblood? And I'm not talking like World War I ships that all lived into World War II and did stuff in World War II. I'm like, solely World War I ships. Because I think it's just Ironblood right now. Deutschland was renamed, so that's an easy ship to make. TBG Sardegna from World War II only has a couple cruisers and destroyers and mainly subs left. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, they got, yeah, like, it seems to me, yeah, some factions just don't have many ships left. Like, all the major heavy hitters of World War II from, I think, every faction, all the major ships, except for Admiral Shear and Schleswig-Holstein, seem to just not be present. Or seem to be present, excuse me. Like, there's very few heavy hitters, main characters of World War II that are not in Azur Lane. I'm like, you know, and to me, actually, okay, so here's one thing that they are missing, though. They're still missing ships from the minor nations. Like, okay, there's no Polish ships in Azur Lane, despite the fact the Polish ships have incredible history. I think we're still missing some Dutch ships. Like, a lot of ships that are missing are from nations not in Azur Lane, you know? Do players really want more Ironblood submarines? Submarines are really the only real ships they can add. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and we already have plenty of Ironblood submarines. But we don't have, like, you know, some of those late model submarines, some of those very nice, very modern late model submarines that we build. Like, pretty much every submarine built today is based off of loosely. We need to add some of those subs. I don't mind if they go after World War II ships, maybe in the next 2 years, and introduce jets and more missiles ships. Even add modern ships like the Gerald F. Ford in the game if Azur Lane goes to 10 years old. Ever played Tribe 9? So good. I have not played Tribe 9. To me, I'm like, you know, I want them to stick to World War II ships. Like, I want every World War II ship that actually existed in Azur Lane before they start jumping into, you know, Enterprise 2, for example. To me, I'm like, there's probably a way. They might have to make a whole other game for that would look very strange. Like, I don't know what they would call it. Azur Lane Cold War. Who knows? I don't know what they would call it. You could connect it to your Azur Lane account if the ship survived and lived in the Cold War era. You get that ship automatically. Royal Navy is missing like 8 battleships still. How Barham isn't in the game is crazy. Yeah, I mean, Royal Navy, they are missing a lot of ships. We're still missing, you know, USS Johnston in the US. Yeah, okay, so before the war started, the Royal Navy was in fact the largest, most powerful navy in the world. They had a lot of ships. There's plenty of Royal Navy ships that are missing. Plenty of Royal Navy ships, plenty of USS ships, American ships are. Yeah. I'm glad we're getting Benjamin Franklin though. It's been a while. If you don't have a Wolfpack subfleet, you're doing it wrong. I mean, there's also the American subfleet now you could make that could match a Wolfpack. I do have the Wolfpack subs ready to go though. Royal Navy still don't have any sub. That is another thing. The Royal Navy doesn't have any submarines. And they had submarines that did some absolutely incredible stuff. They have the only submarine in all of World War II to track an enemy submarine and shoot it while both subs are submerged. I'm like, how is that sub not in the game already? That would be the only submarine that could shoot other submarines. Oh, and the calculations and guesswork that guy used to shoot that German submarine, the guy in charge of that submarine, still used when building torpedoes today in their computers. Like, how good was that guy at math? As good as impossible needed to be, because that was damn near impossible. Did it all with the right math. My fave Italy sub is Torcelli. Azur Lane, she may not be the strongest, but I still love her. Fair enough. Still don't have Rory's sisters. Yeah? Yeah, I'm like, there's some carriers from Royal Navy missing. Yeah, there's plenty of ships. There's plenty of ships left to add into Azur Lane, I think. Royal Navy, I think, has like the most to add. No. Okay, the US has the most to add. Clearly, if you count all those Fletcher classes we built. And the rest of Cleveland's sisters. Okay, the American faction has the most to add, then would be Royal Navy. But I'm like, they're struggling when it comes to stuff for the Germans, and it looks like what they're doing, mainly stuff for the Germans, and I would say Northern Parliament as well. And it looks like what they're doing is everything you see in World of Warships, I think, will be introduced into Azur Lane. Like every ship in World of Warships, Azur Lane is probably going to have literally every one of those ships in, you know, some form or another. What's up, OG in chat? How's your day? FBI is in the building. Everybody act cool. My day is going swell, by the way. How's your day, FBI? Says, what other gacha you play? Well, I mean, okay, so I was playing Aether Gazer. I wonder what's gonna happen if I jump back in there. Oh my goodness. What would happen if I jumped back into Aether Gazer after so much time has passed? It's probably been like over a year since I jumped back into Aether Gazer. Everything changed in there, the displays, everything changed. Be like, oh my goodness. Well, gotta work my way through it. Still waiting for Iowa. The woman has been on vacation forever now. Yeah, Iowa. It would be interesting. Still waiting on USS Texas. Yeah, plenty of Essexes left to go. Plenty of Clevelands left to go. Who else we got? So Clevelands, Essexes. We also have like plenty of okay, there's some Alan M. Sumner classes. Plenty of those left to go. Plenty of Fletchers. There is an endless number of Fletchers left to go. The amount of Fletchers is insane. Because at one point we were cranking out a ship a day, like a Fletcher class destroyer a day. Day's been good. Haven't played in months now. Ugh. Yeah, I've been playing off and on again. Actually, another game kind of took my attention for a minute, and I just had to play it, and it was Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Game is ridiculous. I play Azur Lane and Nikkei Goddess of Victory and Girls Frontline 2 and Vuva. Okay, what is WUWA? So I know Nikkei Goddess of Victory and Girls Frontline 2. I do not know what WUWA is. For the most part, I've been just kind of keeping up with Azur Lane. Like, I'll keep up with Azur Lane and keep it going. Other than that, War Thunder also has my attention again because they introduced the F-18. I finally got my first F-18. I have the F-18A in War Thunder. That thing is an absolute beast. I also grinded out those Japanese jets that are going away. So my account will have the Japanese jets. That's nice. Wuthering Waves or Wandering Waves? Okay. This sounds like something I need to look up. Yeah, War Thunder. I'm still playing War Thunder. It seems like they've actually done a lot of changes to War Thunder that have given me less reasons to release all those angry freedom noises. Because like it seems like they're trying to somewhat balance out ground. And I'm surprised. I was like, oh my goodness. Finally. We're balancing out ground. This is wonderful. Okay, so speaking of War Thunder, on one of my streams, I'll bring up the topic now again. On one of my streams of War Thunder, the subject came up about robot waifus. Because there was one incident. Okay, so we started talking about robot waifus because there's this video of this. It's a clip I saw from a movie where in the future, everyone was asking, like, what's gonna happen when the robot waifu gets released? And I was like, you guys don't know what they could do for not this again. Yeah. Okay, so you guys have no idea what this what they could do with robot waifus. But basically in this movie, this guy has the perfect robot waifu. So the robot waifu has AI downloaded into its brain. So it has basically like, you know, an AI created personality, but it looks like a supermodel. So one day the police, I'm trying to make a joke being funny my thing. Okay. Well, so one day the police destroy his robot wife. And I was saying, I could totally see that happening. Like in the future, women just make robot waifus illegal. I was trying to say he'd want a Biloxi robot. I don't think I go that far. I still prefer real women, you know. But yeah, I mean, I was like, dang, like, because everyone's wondering what is the response to robot waifus gonna be. And I'm like, I could think of one. But yeah, imagine they make a, like, imagine your favorite ship girl is Shinano. So you get a robot waifu that looks like Shinano and has basically Shinano's equivalent personality downloaded into the robot in an AI form. Or 2B from New York. Yeah, 2B from Nier Automata. Yeah. 2B from Nier. I bet that would be a popular choice. The feminists are going full psycho when robot waifus are a thing and the government would try to make them illegal. I could see that too. I could totally see that too. That's what I was saying I think would happen actually. There would be an uproar because like, and someone was saying maybe they'll just make, you know, robot Ken dolls, you know, the equivalent of a robot waifu but for women. And I was like, it's not going to work the same, man. That will not work the same. You could make a robot waifu for a man and it would actually, you know, for the most part meet his needs. You could not make a robot waifu for a woman and it worked. Poser Day, OG in chat, sorry for being late. Welcome to the chat, E4 Mafia. Poser Day. My day is going good, by the way. See my thing. See your thing? See what thing? Hold on a second. Okay. Did I join during a demon time? Yes, you did. Actually, we just started. You're right on time. But we were talking about Mafia Fleet whilst you can. So we were saying, like, okay, on one of my War Thunder streams, you know, you were there actually. You know, the topic was robot waifus, and the subject was are the robot waifus, like, what's the response gonna be? And I said I think the government I think real women are gonna try and make them illegal. There's a movie where this happens, and because you could make a robot waifu for a man that would actually meet his needs. You cannot make a robot waifu for a woman. It would not work the same. Not only that, but wait, hold on a second. In order to have our pie, we need to also pander to women to have robo husbands. That's the thing, is I'm like, you could do that, and that might actually, here's my thing is, if in order for any robot company that starts making robot waifus will have to do that to even have a chance of making them, you know, making them reach production. Let's say that. Now, real women right now are all psychos and scary to communicate. Go for robot waifus. We can pick whatever personality she gets. Well, I was saying, like, it's possible that, like, so any company that's trying to make robot waifus, they're gonna have to create like a version for women just to get them to reach production and be sold on the market. But I think after a while, I mean, I think they'll get mad and make them illegal. I think there's gonna be like, I don't know what to say. Well, here's the thing is, if they, I do know what to say on this. So here's the thing: if they make them illegal, this was another thing I was thinking. Um, let's say they make them illegal, but it works because women have done something like this before with prohibition. So prohibition was the effort to make alcohol illegal. So what did that do? That created the Italian mafia. So drug and alcohol smugglers. And the Italian mafia, they made bank by doing some very uncouth-ish to keep selling alcohol specifically, but drugs also. Yeah, so I'm like, you know what's gonna happen? Yeah, like, you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna get the robot waifu mafia. Like, imagine that. So suddenly, we get the robot waifu mafia. And the robot waifu mafia, they're gonna be smart people because they're gonna know how to use robots and, you know, electronics and computers and all that. So they're gonna be able to hack a whole bunch of stuff. This will be an intelligent, computer tech savvy mafia. So the robot waifu mafia, and the nickname someone came up with during that stream was the Gooner Mafia. The Gooner Mafia. That would suck to get deleted and then go to the afterlife, and you know everybody's like, "Oh, what got you, man? Oh, I died in the Roman Empire's war." You know, they're all sharing these epic stories, and then they get around to you. They're like, hey, you know, what took you out? And someone would have to answer, I got taken out by the Gooner Mafia. That's going to be an embarrassing answer once you get to the afterlife. That will be an embarrassing answer. You'll be trying, everybody's going to be trying their damnedest not to get taken out by the Gooner Mafia. Okay, which of these have I not purchased? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I need that. And that too. And I can come back and collect those, I think. Oh, I could use that. And that. Oh. Time to grind. Yeah, so let me jump over here. The Gooner Mafia could probably become an actual real thing. But you can't call them, like, they're going to have to come up with a different name other than the Gooner Mafia, because they won't be taken seriously if you do that. And let me see what we got here. Need to catch up with these chats. But are the women happy that they don't need men anymore? So problem solved. Let's be real about that. Okay, so here's the truth about women being happy that they quote unquote don't need men. They could be happy, but they won't be happy unless we're miserable. Like us, like them being happy by themselves and men being happy, they'd immediately work to shut that down. And nothing proved this more than a study to me that showed women actually enjoy, like, okay, typically there was a study I saw where they found out that women in relationships typically, the more miserable their man is, the happier they are. Typically, that's basically what the study said. So they enjoy causing their men misery and making him suffer, because that means he's invested in the relationship. And that specific reason, I'm telling you, is exactly why robot waifus will not work for it will well they will work for men, but robot Ken dolls will not work for women. Like women, they need some real investment in them. And I don't know, or I don't think they're going to be able to create a robot even with an AI personality that's going to make them feel that, like, they can make their man suffer. They need to be able to make their man suffer. It's a thing. Robot waifus sound like I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. Yeah, the Robo Mafia. I'm all good. I'm all about the times. That was me with the nickname. Okay, the last Robot Mafia I remember was those robots in Futurama. Society would never let me be happy. All we wanted was to goon in peace. But yeah, and the Robo Waifu break your hot dog. Oh man. That's another. Okay, so there's a movie out called Companion. It's actually a very entertaining movie. Like, I saw it. But yeah, the Robo Waifu break. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Already got my goon squad ready to go. And yeah, it's called Wuthering Waves. The Gotcha. Okay. Other than the booba, what's your opinion on USS Franklin being added, OG? I'm excited that she's getting added, and I like the design. Overall, it's a great design. And I'm wondering if she's going to be super, super tanky, because the real USS Franklin took a very devastating kamikaze hit and managed to survive. So I'm wondering if she's going to be super, super tanky. That's my guess. She's going to be like, Intrepid is already the tanky Essex. I imagine Benjamin Franklin being like the tankiest of tanky Essex. That's just how I think it might happen. Overall, I really do like, Franklin's design. It's a good design. Hello, Milkman. Hello, Hinai Kimono. And that's why I never be in a relationship. Yeah. Understandable. Understandable. Looking at my parents, that study is factually false in their case. You know what's strange? It seems to me, actually, what's strange? My parents also have they're still together and still, chilling, happy-ish. I'm like, I don't know how they did it. See, with women liking to make men suffer goes back to Adam and Eve. Eve ate the fruit. Adam paid the price, thus he suffered. Fun fact, the USS Franklin was the most damaged ship to survive the war. That's it, yeah. Okay. I didn't know she was the most damaged to survive the war, but that's fascinating. But I imagine her to be a super ultra tanky Essex. Like the tankiest of tanky Essex in the game. Or she has a self-heal that's like really effective. Like she replenishes, I don't know, 50% of her health after she loses 50% of her health. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's gonna have. These are just speculations in my head from what I know about the ship. All speculations just floating around in my head. We have our new brat that needs correction, though. Oh, wait, Hinai Kimono. Who is the new brat that needs correction? Different generation, different values. Also true, man. Also true. Different values. Different, I would say, different society back then. Like, they didn't have all this social media, which the social media makes everything like so yeah, they also, another thing is they also had like a more okay, there wasn't all this technology that makes life so easy. They were like used to hardship, essentially. There's a million differences. Like I really think there's so many differences between my generation and like my dad's or even my grandpa's generation. It almost sounds like we come from two different planets. It almost sounds like it's that different. I'm convinced God made women to F with men. Well, this is how I look at women now. And so women's brains are actually built to test our brains. Like they're women's minds want to test our personality. And the thing they search for is weakness. So they want to see like there's if you look at them that way, they make more sense. And even then they still don't make sense. But, their brain is designed to test our personality. It's built that way. I'm convinced of it. USS Miller. Who is it? Please let me know. I do them up real quick. Yeah, or he's asking who is the brat. But yeah, that's how I look at. That's in general how I look at women now. Like their brain really is designed to test our brain, and if it makes more sense. And what they really want is they want someone with strong genetics for strong children. So they make sense in that regard. Or in some cases, they will take advantage of a brain that is weak. They'll take advantage of that for survival purposes. Or in some cases, sometimes there's plenty of women that actually will not want a man that they cannot control. So they'll look for the kind of brain that's just weak enough that they can have a hold on it and control that brain, control that person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like some of them, they do want a man that's controllable. In fact, I would say almost every woman, maybe not every single woman, that gets married, at least in the United States, if you want to be a husband, you have to be somewhat controllable for that woman to marry. You have to be controllable. And when I figured that out, I think that's why I'm not married. It's one thing significantly made me not want to get married. Government did its job to destroy the nuclear family, either on purpose or by accident. Still remains a mystery. You know, um, okay, if I look at it from a perspective of like, did the government destroy the nuclear family? The answer is yes, but it's not necessarily like, okay, I think they were infiltrated, and then the infiltrators took over. Once they took over, those are the ones that destroyed the nuclear family. That's how I look at it. They were the ones that really destroyed the nuclear family. It's not it's infiltrators, in particular communists. Nuclear family, like there's okay, so if any of you have not read George Orwell's 1984, that's a great book. I highly recommend it, but there's a line in that book that stuck with me for all time's sake, and it's so the main character gets with a woman who he secretly because okay, so the main character, he's working at a I could sum up the book for you really quickly, actually. So, spoiler alert, I'm about to spoil something in 1984. So the main character is working at a facility where he rewrites history. And at this facility, there's a coworker who's a woman, and she is gorgeous. He's like he's so attracted to this woman, he's like losing his mind and infuriated that he can't be with her. And then one day she sends him a note saying saying that she loves him, and they meet in secret, and they start having secret meetings where they start getting together, you know. And it's a wonderful experience for him. And she has a line where she says, the thing is, it's illegal. And they're thinking, why is this thing that we're doing illegal? And she says it creates a world that they cannot control. And that is exactly what the nuclear family is. It is a world that the government cannot control. So, like, for example, a man that has a family, and let's say a man that has a wife that's not been propagandized and loves him and has, like, let's say religious values, that man could be a person who would be a patriot for his country. Would maybe even join the military, fight for it. But there's certain things that man would completely reject even if his government ordered him to do. There's certain people that run governments that don't like those people. And the people, those same people that don't like those people, that's who I think got in the government and used it to destroy the nuclear family. If you want to get technical. It's the government, more likely on purpose. There's people in the government that did do it on purpose. And if you look at who was the #1 pushers of destroying the nuclear family, there's writers of both feminists and there's even, okay, even in the 60s and 70s, there was an LGBT manifesto that bragged about destroying the nuclear family. So those two groups, you look at the government now, I mean, you look at the government that's been running, the people running the government for the past, let's say, 2 decades. Same people. Same people. Like, we know who did it. We know who did it for the most part. There's some people whose names ain't even in the public that were part of it, but the communities that did it, we know who they are. This doesn't help that men are pitted against the system, which is heavily in favor of women. Well, that's part of destroying the nuclear family. Yeah. Look, I guess Demon Time just got political again. We going full politics on Demon Time. Maybe I should just start calling it political Demon Time. This is when you pick a woman, you must discipline it like you would like a cat. Do the Beats by Dre if it gets irritable. I don't know what that song is, so I cannot. I don't know what that song is because I haven't heard it. I don't really listen to too much Dr. Dre music. But yeah, you used to they used to have a saying that, like, okay, they used to say that women need to be teachable, and this is the older generations past, you know, because like every man is different. So, you know, he's going to have different needs. And if a woman wants to be a good wife, she would seek to meet those needs as much as possible. Limo, you sound like Tate. Reel it in. Damn, autocorrect. I guess you meant Lamau. You sound like Tate. I mean, I know what I know from history. Because I majored in history. I love history. I love studying history. But I actually have not watched too many, like, I have not watched Andrew Tate all that much. Like, I see him when he appears in the news. But if you ask me to sit down and watch like his podcast or anything, I've never actually watched a whole Andrew Tate podcast or anything from like that from his, you know, his repertoire. COG in chat got to run. All right, take it easy, E4 Mafia. I meant Nemo. Bye bye. But yeah. So robot waifus and the Gooner Mafia will be a thing probably. And if so, I get dibs on calling it whatever. I want them to approach me and be like, hey, look, you invented that name Gooner Mafia. We want copyright rights. We need to get that name gone, specifically, is probably what they're going to say. Disciplining a woman is dumb, they're not your kid. Well, here's the thing is, there's this one show, or actually, it was a movie called Hercules and the Amazon Women, which is an old movie from the 90s. I watched it and it was pretty good. But that's the thing is, if a woman, like, you can't really control women. Like, if they change their minds, they don't change their minds whenever you want them to change their minds. It won't work. Like, they are the X factor. Whatever they really are an X factor in society. Like, whatever is like the plan, women will take that plan and turn it on its head. Even if it's a good plan. So, just is what it is, I guess. That's why I say, if you look at their brain, like their brain is designed to test our brain, they make more sense. They make a lot more sense. It's like it's almost like their brain will seek to throw us off guard. If it can, they'll look to throw us off guard. Does that sound right to anybody? Like, does anybody... I should do a poll. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me get to my... Jump in here. Okay. I would like to see some opinions here. Yeah, I'll just leave these here. Add option. No, not add option. Okay. And yes. I guess you gotta type it in. No. Why will it not? Okay, there we go. Let me see what y'all think. Okay, they could cut through the entire one of these hazard zones, but not beat the main boss. So that's not a bad fleet. All right. Okay, back to Azur Lane topic. Independence still slaps even today. Gotta love the OG ships like Enterprise, Unicorn, Helena, and Independence, still relevant even today's. Independence, to me, is still the most useful carrier. Independence and Perseus. But Independence, she is like... Yeah, that skill, her retrofit was an absolute winner. A winner for all time. Because I still think the best Eagle Union carrier team-up is Enterprise and Independence. Like, if you can only use 2 carriers and a battleship or an aviation battleship. Enterprise and Independence together are the ultimate Eagle Union dynamic duo. I think all over the world, it's not just in the USA. Just watch the movie like Pearl Harbor, it's about cheating. Also Titanic. Yeah, I remember. I saw Pearl Harbor in theaters. Yeah, and Pearl Harbor, I remember thinking this romance story is atrocious. Like the action sequences were incredible. The action sequences were some of the best I'd ever seen. But that romance story was atrocious. I remember no one liked Pearl Harbor because the romance side of that movie was just so bad. They were like, the movie was great. I didn't like any of these characters. I was like, yeah, exactly how I felt. All right, the last one here. Actually, I'm going to use this because I could save these for later and then they'll turn into event shop points, but that same is not true for oil. I should use as much oil as possible in this case. All right. You know, Titanic to me is a hilarious movie if you watch it from the perspective of, I don't want to be any of these people. Like, oh man, I am so glad that wasn't me on that ship. So glad. To me, okay, you know what's crazy to me is you get these movies that come out and they are clearly programming. Like, and by programming I mean it's like a movie that comes out and seeks to almost like destroy morality, essentially moral stuff like that, things you build society on. And the worst is Forrest Gump. One of the worst, not the worst, but the one that comes to my mind is Jenny from Forrest Gump. Ugh. Independence, Yorktown 2, and Kearsarge on Chapter 15. 4. Boss was so easy. Yeah, Yorktown 2 is still awesome. Yorktown 2 is relatively new by comparison, but she still slaps pretty hard. If the enemy is light armor, she is still the best, I think, out of all the, yeah, because now, see, imagine this. Now you can fit Yorktown 2 with 2 Sky Raider dive bombers. So you could give her a Hellcat and, like, a rocket Hellcat and 2 Sky Raider dive bombers. She will throw more HVAR rockets than anything. Like, she'll disintegrate light armor. So if we get any boss that's light armor or anything, Yorktown 2, and if you team her up with Independence, that's also a very great move because she basically can be used. Well, okay, 2 Sky Raiders will make her reload very slow. That's gonna hurt her reload a lot, and Independence could be there to fix that. Yeah. I'm still a fan of Enterprise. I'm thinking, who would I... Because I did use Independence for 15-4. Yorktown is an excellent choice. Yorktown 2, of course, but Enterprise, of course, is also an excellent choice. I think when we get to chapter 16, depending on the boss, if it's light or medium armor, I'm definitely bringing Enterprise and Independence. But if it's a battleship, and I'm trying to clear it with an Eagle Union specific fleet. Yorktown is life. Yeah, I'm like, because I'm trying to think of what would be a good battleship killing Eagle Union faction fleet. And most, I think, of the Eagle Union ships that do good damage to battleships are actually other battleships. Yeah, I'm like, New Jersey, excellent choice. I mean, Georgia needs some kind of upgrade or something. Georgia needs a significant improvement. Maybe Franklin will do damage to battleships. Maybe. If she gets like a skill for that. That's a hard, like that's a difficult one. I know Enterprise is pretty good if you just give her the Tenrai. Or Yorktown with 2 Tenrais could also be good. Yeah, Yorktown with 2 Tenrais and the LA-9. That might slap pretty hard on a battleship. Georgia is on life support right now. Yeah, Georgia's way behind the curve. Georgia needs a serious upgrade. Augment. I don't know if they would give PR ships a retrofit. I'm completely ready for the next event when it goes live. Yeah. Me too. Where is Queen Elizabeth's retro? See, she has been in dire need of a retrofit. If you use that auxiliary gear, the itinerary on Dido, and then sortie her with Dido, they're a devastating pair. I cleared 15-4 with that pair. Can someone give me tips on 13-4? Hard boss. Vanguard. What ships do you have? Yeah, because 13-4, I do remember there was some aircraft involved in that one. I would be perfect for chapter 16 comes around. I mean, I wonder what skills she'll have. I imagine she'll be some kind of faction buffer. I hope so. She seems like a ship that would be a faction buffer, even though New Jersey essentially does that. Yeah, okay. Huh. My thing is, it's always whenever there's an Eagle Union faction buffer, a lot of it has to do with using her for anti-air. Like, I was really wishing that Washington would have the same skill that they gave Prince of Wales. Washington or North Carolina. Probably, I think one of those two ships deserved the skill that they gave Prince of Wales. I was like, why is the Eagle Union faction buffer Prince of Wales? You know? Of course, they made that right with New Jersey, but dang, they could have done something cool with North Carolina, or to me, okay, North Carolina is still a little weak, but she's still like the fact that now she's perfect for mobbing is a plus. At least there's that. Would 2 Queen Elizabeth's book work, or only 1? I think it's only 1. I don't know. But OG, I got to go. It's late. I will watch the stream later. Bye. Alright, take it easy, Edwin Deckers. That's a whale skill. Was crap till the augment needed a barrage from the start. Yeah, I'm saying like they could have, okay, I think they should have added that skill on to Washington or North Carolina. Because it was the Eagle Union faction buffing skill, essentially. North Carolina with that skill would be a pretty significantly good ship. So yeah. I seriously think Washington, though, if she gets a retrofit or an augment, it needs to be something very good. Carol should have had a mutual buff with NT. That's also true. Yeah, like some kind of synergy with Enterprise, the same way that Washington has synergy with South Dakota, or all the Clevelands have synergy with Independence. Some sort of serious, powerful buff. See, I'm like, they could give Enterprise an augment and add that skill in there. Like when sortied with North Carolina, defense goes up, or defense and attack goes up. Something like that. Of course, if they give Enterprise an augment, she's not getting a retrofit for a while. Has anyone managed to proc Ranger's skill with Sky Raiders? You know. Huh. That would be interesting. Italians just have very pretty ships. Yeah, the Italian ships, for some reason, whoever's designing the Italian ships always makes them, you know, incredibly good waifus. Incredibly good. Doesn't Essex like buffs all the USS CV and fleet? You don't really need to buff the Eagle Union Vanguard, since it's basically Guam, Laffy 2, and Helena or Vessel Eldridge. I mean... okay. I'm thinking mainly of a buff for carriers, but my thing is Kearsarge does that pretty well. Yeah, I think, to me, like, my favorite backline fleet now is Kearsarge, Enterprise, and Independence. The fleet is lethal. Actually, I've been using... I'll do some PvP, by the way, and because I have them as my PvP fleet, and they have been able to beat anything. Of course, my Vanguard is, you know, no joke also. But my PvP fleet has been able to pretty much beat or match anything. Like with the current fleet that's going around that's devastating is All Saints, Sovietskaya, Rosa, and Musashi, with the Vanguard of Jinsu Meta, Laffy 2, and Eldridge retrofit. That fleet is crazy in PvP so far, and my fleet can sort of, like, if I pit my fleet against one of those, it's a toss-up. May win, may not. But could trounce virtually every other fleet. Some of us like to suffer. Okay, Biloxi's the only one left. Biloxi survives. Okay, but it's time to switch this fleet out. Okay, they're not going to survive that one. But doesn't Kearsarge, Yorktown 2, and Independence the better backline? Here's the thing. If it's light armor, Yorktown 2. If it's anything else, Enterprise is pretty decent. Light or medium armor would be Yorktown 2. But now I think about it, if you put 210 Rise and an LA9 on Yorktown, she would be also pretty devastating. Oh wait, I didn't mean to jump in this one either. Switching to another fleet. You know, that backline of Kearsarge, Yorktown 2, and Independence is also very decent. And definitely against light armor for sure will be better than Enterprise. But I mean, yeah. Yeah, Essex. I mean, Kearsarge, Yorktown 2. Let's see here. What have we got in this poll? Yes, 88%. Okay. So I will end the poll now. Yes is the clear winner. So 8 votes. Alright. Some say no. There is no alternative. Yorktown all the time. No alternatives. Someone's a little biased. Just a tad tiny bit biased. Just a little bit. I'm like, Yorktown's pretty flexible though, because she can now, because her last slot can hold any plane. That would be a toss-up to me. It's also a matter of, do you need tankiness in the back? So if you come across a fleet that's attacking your back line, Enterprise is better because her skill makes her invulnerable for a couple seconds. So if you need tankiness at your back line, Enterprise is for sure better than Yorktown 2. Never, I'm British. See, still a little biased for Yorktown 2, I mean. You can be British and still think of Yorktown 2 as your favorite waifu. You could be biased. You're waifu biased. I'll say that. See, I'm raking in the gold parts because I need these right now. And I'm so glad I'm getting them. Wait. Also, Kearsarge and Yorktown 2 got the synergy on both of them with their skills on burning enemies. I would say, okay, I would say that's true in the sense of, see, I'm still not sure if the aircraft special burn stacks with another aircraft special burn, like the aircraft from the HVAR rockets. Because if it doesn't, the synergy is not all especially great. Like, it's there, but it's not like, you know, like I'll say you could get roughly that same synergy with Enterprise. I don't know if the burns from the aircraft stack. British people are never biased about anything. Oh, it's light armor. Okay. I bring my Eagle Union fleet. Oh, wait. Yes, British people are never biased about anything ever. Okay. Okay. This is news to me. I'm thinking of having a watch party for Steins Gate, though. Because, Okarin suggested a watch party for Steins Gate. I was like, hey, if some more people sign up for that, that might be a nice thing. That'd be fun. Yeah, they should get this in one day, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Easy going. Burn and special burn are different, plus they both increase damage to burning enemies. Just defending my two wives, Lamau. Good. Good with Enti, though. Yeah, I mean, if it's light armor, Yorktown 2's got it. Okay, that was a very, very productive boss kill. All right, I think I've done all of Operation Siren that is mostly necessary. The one thing I haven't done is collected these hidden zones. So I could definitely do that. Okay, just double checking. Wait, I can do that already, can't I? Yeah. Okay. I need to go purchase that. Hidden. There we go. There we go. Alright, just 5 and 6 for now. Alright, let's see how long Yorktown can run through these. Or not Yorktown, North Carolina. Let's see how long North Carolina can run through this. Because she has a heal. I mainly use North Carolina for Operation Siren now. Because she does have a heal. But it's it only activates when there's aircraft. And there's always aircraft in Operation Siren. And the heal alone itself is not all that. It's like it's a good heal, but it's not spectacular. Yeah, I'm still thinking. I'm like, what would be the best battleship combination or anti-heavy armor combination for Eagle Union? I could see Kearsarge being on there with the LA-9s. New Jersey. But who would be the last ship? It would have to be, the best one I can think of is Yorktown. Yorktown 2. But I'm like, if it's not Yorktown 2, who would it be? Yorktown fitted with an LA-9 of her own and 210 rockets. Constellation, maybe. Nah, Yorktown 2. Okay, Yorktown 2 I think would be it. Yeah. This has got me thinking. Since I have been, you know, thoroughly playing, you know, since I've gotten this far on Azure Lane, you know, and the reruns for the most part aren't really like, I don't really need to do these rerun events. I got almost everything practically, unless a collab shows up. I'm like, maybe I could try taking on another gacha game. I'm already knee-deep in Aether Gazer. When I think of Heavy Armor Boss, I'm thinking about Sakura Empire CV Trio. You know. Oof. I gotta say, I'm thinking of if they put that in, you know, chapter 16, that would be evil. Yeah, imagine you get 3 bosses instead of 2. That would be evil. At least you know to outfit yourself with everything anti-heavy armor. I gotta say though, I have met that fleet in PvP. Mainly, okay, a vicious fleet I've met in PvP has been a or a Magi 2. I think it's Shinano, and then Akagi. That combo in PvP, that's another painful fight. Like that other fleet I described to you in PvP, that one is, I think, the most lethal, but the one with those 3 Sakura Empire carriers, that one hurts. It's a struggle to get through. Also, they'll be nuking your ship with their 10 rise and each. Yeah. Yeah. True. Hmm. What's crazy to me is I'm thinking of actually, for the first time, buying an apartment. Like, being an owner of it. It's just something that popped into my head. Oh, gee, just out of curiosity, did you get around to reading that story I sent? No biggie if not. I haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but I did get it. Yeah, I'm gonna read that. I did receive your message. Yeah, I need to get around to that. Johnston will be a lot. No, she will not, Hidai Komodo. I reject that negative energy. We are going to have a nice, mature Lolly Johnston that hopefully looks like either Kimberly, or I would even settle for Mogado. Hopefully so. Considerably hoping so. But that's negative energy. Positive energy. We're going to get mature Destroyer Johnston. I'm going to put that out. We're going to get a very nice, mature Destroyer Johnston that looks kind of badass. Now she's gonna be a mix of Bocce and Benz. Oh no! No! Not Bocce and Benz. Oh no! I hope not. Also, no worries on the story side. Okay. Negative energy. Lolly Johnston is very positive energy. No, it is not. No, it is not. That's negative energy. We are getting mature Destroyer Johnston. That's positive energy I'm putting out there. No Lolly Johnston. Please, no Lolly Johnston. Yo, Star, if you're watching. Yo, Star, please, no Lolly Johnston. Hmm. See, I was wondering if they were gonna make her like look Native American because, you know, her commander was. Be a very mature. Oh, I got 5 of those. That's good. Okay, looks like I need AP. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, don't look at Can Cole Johnston. Oh, goodness. Okay, I kind of want to search it up now. Okay, just tell me, is it a lolly? Because if it is, I won't search it up. What is Can't Cole Johnston? Are you fine if Johnston has body type Alan M. Sumner or Fargo body type? Okay, I don't count either of them as lollies. Those are... I don't count those as lollies. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll search this up. Wait, Cole. Wait, you put ... there. Does that mean she is? Okay, someone answer me truthfully. So I can't... Okay, the ... looks suspicious. I already started. Oh. That is kind of like the USS Kimberly design. Yeah, that looks like USS Kimberly in Azure Lane. Yeah, see, this is exactly what... This would be an acceptable Johnston. To me, anyway. Yeah, she is. This is a lolly? I don't think so. This looks... like... more on... This looks kind of like USS Kimberly. Okay, now I'm looking at it now, I'm like... Because I'm... Yeah, not quite, but... too close. She looked longer, like in terms of... like she was just tall and skinny for a second there. Look on Wiki, she is fatter. I see the same photo, same photo. This one. Okay, I would still like a more mature looking USS Johnston. Eh. She is flatter, is what you said. Okay, when I saw that first photo, it looked like it had her cut down below the waist, so she just looks tall and skinny. I was like, okay, I could deal with, you know, lanky, tall, skinny Johnston. But No lollies. Yeah, no Lolly Johnston, please. I would like one that looks at least like. Actually, Alan M. Sumner would be probably a good comparison. Imagine if Iowa got the body type of Nagato. Oh. Oh, I hope they don't do that. That would be even worse than Lolly Johnston. That would be so bad. I really hope they don't do that. Have you ever heard of the story of USS Edsall 1DD versus the IJN Navy? I don't know that story. I've heard the ship's name. I don't know that story, though. I have heard that ship's name before somewhere. Let's see, Little New Jersey went. No, no, don't start Hinakamoto. Don't start with that now. Don't start with that now. That's double negative energy. Iowa as Anson design. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, gosh. That's... Hina. No, don't do it. There's a lot of negative energy being put out in this stream right now. I'm like, positive energy only. We're going to get mature Iowa. Mature Lolly John. No, mature Johnston. See, y'all got me mixing up my words now. Mature Johnston. This is an anti-lolly zone. Destroyer captains were effing crazy. Yes, they were. No, don't clip that. Oh, gosh. Yeah, destroyer captains, they did some crazy stuff. I think Estel would make a good addition to the Eagle Union roster. I need to look up more. You said mature. Yeah, I know. I did not mean to say that. You only got me mixing up my words. Mike992 is in the building. Hose your day. Says, did I hear Lolly Johnston? Yes, you did. Some people here putting out some negative possibilities about Destroyer USS Johnston that clearly will not happen. We're going to get a very nice, mature USS Destroyer Johnston. I reject that negative energy. You know what's funny? I actually feel so much better after I was watching this. So on occasion, when I'm cooking breakfast in the morning, I'll play a YouTube video in the background, you know, for some like background noise. And there was one video I saw, and it was something along the lines of when you stop worrying, everything goes well. I was like thinking about the times I was like, my brain was in that mode. I was like, you know, damn, that's right. That has actually been on my mind all day. It's a very good video. Oh, Mike, you missed a small demon time we had talking about robot waifus. Robot waifus. And the coming Gunner Mafia. They are inevitable. They're gonna be inevitable like Thanos. I would definitely buy that. You mean a robot waifu? You would definitely buy a robot waifu. Or buy the idea of the Gunner Mafia becoming a thing. Instead of smuggling, yeah, the old mafia would smuggle alcohol and drugs. This new mafia, they're going to be smuggling robot waifus. This is what I'm worried about is, and the movie Companion covered this. What if one day someone programs a robot waifu to kill you? Like, you buy a robot, but someone wants to, get rid of you. So they hack your robot waifu and command it to, delete you in your sleep or something. That's the one thing I'm like, that once that happens, robot waifu sales will drop. Robot waifu sales, that sounds like something that would happen. Robot waifu sales would plummet through the floor. The disconnect reconnect thing. Well, anyway, as I was saying, 1 minute your robot waifu's chilling with you, and then the next minute a giant glowing red light starts showing out of its chest, and the robot turns on you. I go for a couple minutes and already back to robot waifus. Yeah. Yeah, robot waifus. It's probably because I just saw that movie Companion. I recently saw that movie. It's been on my mind. I was like, yeah, that would suck. Oh God, Hinai Kimono. That actually sounds like something that the Gunner Mafia would be smuggling. What you just said, Hinai Kimono. Pretty damn excited with the new nurse skins releasing. I am excited for the new nurse skins too. Mainly Washington's. I like Washington's skin. Dumb question. Do you need permission to use warship names in media? I don't believe so, no. Cause like that would be too okay. Like warships, ships in general, they have like a name that's recognized by like all countries on the planet. That's kind of the thing that separates them from you know, planes and tanks and vehicles. Well, some vehicles. Like every ship has a name that the whole world will acknowledge that ship by name. Ships are special. You know, they don't do that with cars. They do that like unless the car is special or the planes are special. All ships are special in that they have a name. I'll be sniffing that Franklin Nurse skin for 2 days. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. All right, man. You do you. I have to get to the merchant. Okay. I will do this manually. Actually, wait, I'll just let her swing by before she picks up that one crate. You know, I never understand when you go on auto, why the ship, well, there's like clear things it could do on the way to other things. You know what I mean? Enter the shop. Is there anything in here? I will need that. I will need that. I will need that. And I'll just take that. Alright. Unnecessary, but already clicked it. It is different from warships made up by World of Warships. Okay, I also don't think it's different for those ships either. Like World of Warships, they pretty much chose a possible name. I don't think anyone has like copyright rights to that name. What they would have copyrights to is like the actual models of that are used in the game of the ships. I do not think you need I do not think you have any copyright issues with just using the name of ships. Nah. Especially if it's a publicly recognized ship acknowledged by name by the whole world. I do not think that's an issue. Sounds like it's for something you're writing. Am I right? Yeah, drumming up characters right now to fit that page worth I've done so far. Okay. Well, okay then. It's for something you're writing. And future characters in the big bad. I see, so you're developing some villains and some heroes, I guess. You're developing at least one big villain and some heroes. Nurse skins are also what's different about USS Miller. Hers is not a nurse skin. Bluntly, it's Azur Lane without the cubes. Has dudes as ships and zero multiverse/timeline stuff. So the ships are men and doesn't have any multi. It's basically like them playing out World War II is what it sounds like. All right. I mean, hmm. Some ships are men, and yeah, it's World War II with human ships. Okay, so not all the ships are dudes. Okay, that sounds better. So it's like a bunch of some of the ships are women. Some idea when spoken aloud. Okay. Some ships are women, so it sounds like it's a majority of the ships are women, and only some are men. Sounds like a possible lit RPG. It sounds like a lit RPG. Or if you go another route, it sounds like it could be something else. Would character deaths be permanent? That's a good question. Are the character deaths in your book permanent? I'm assuming it's not like Azur Lane Slow Ahead where all the ships are just chilling and partying all the time. To me, I was like, you could go the World End Harem route. Although I hate the protagonist in World End Harem. That anime, that is literally, not even kidding you, the worst anime protagonist I've ever seen. Is the protagonist of World End Harem. Worst one ever. Absolutely, Nico. And ones like Yorktown, and she would be in Essex. She would have the same body but no memories and see only the Essex girls as her sisters and not Enterprise. I hate harems. Alright. I heard there is a movie about a modern CV time traveled to before Pearl Harbor. Okay, I know what movie that you're talking about, and it's just the title is escaping me right now. But they filmed it on an actual aircraft carrier. Why is the title escaping me right now? Hmm. Splash the zeros. Oh my goodness, this title is escaping me right now. I know what movie you're talking about. I need to look this up because it's gonna bug me. I'm like, I know what movie you're talking about. I'm just gonna search up movie about time traveling aircraft carrier. The Final Countdown. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, at least I think the movie you're talking about is The Final Countdown. It may possibly be The Final Countdown. Thanks. Yeah. If there's another movie about a time-traveling aircraft carrier that goes back to World War II, I'm gonna be surprised. Gotta start work. Say bye-bye to Lolly Johnson. Oh man. I think I might do some PvP and head on out of here. Well, take it easy, Hinai Komodo. Yeah, because I would like to go do some PvP. There's actually something I gotta do too soon. So. And gonna get these commissions going though. Alright. All Saints, Shinano, New Jersey, Plymouth, Mogador, and Unsen. I don't think I've seen this combination before, but I'm curious. Yeah, I'm just gonna make double sure they're all outfitted. Yes. 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 And yes. Okay. Alright, let's see how they do. Okay, wow. Yeah, the Independence Kearsarge airstrike cut through their vanguard like a knife through butter. Yeah. This is why I will still stand by Columbia being the most useful, and Kearsarge only survived that fight because of Columbia's skill. Magikaki Issei retrofit. I'm looking for tough fleets. Like, preferably the harder to kill, the better. Okay, let me try this one. This ought to be interesting. Yeah, I think this is still... Yeah. Not bad. Level 152. Oh, this looks interesting. Kaga, Amagi CV, Shinano, Jinsu Meta, Laffy 2, and Eldridge. Legato, Kaga. Okay, the other one's more interesting. Level 152. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna win this one. This one, I don't know how this is gonna go. Yeah, this fleet with Akagi instead of Kaga is also pretty vicious. Can they do it? Okay. Okay, it looks like this is... Okay, it looks like this is a win. Once that Laffy falls, and I get to a back line of only carriers, my Vanguard's gonna murder them. They have no defense. No defense, its own no battleships to send me rounds back. Okay, this is close, because now I'm like, Columbia might drop. Columbia's definitely gonna drop. Yeah, there she goes. And now it's just Laffy and these carriers. Okay, one's down. Laffy versus Amagi CV. Okay, whew. Losing your beloved ship waifu in a sortie permanent would cause an Astra. That would be brutal. FBI, that's exactly what I'm gonna write. An astronomical psychological damage. Oh no. I don't think I've seen that combination before. Full French faction fleet, but I still want to try this guy. Okay. Let me try this fleet. See how it goes. Damn, that was close. Yeah, that was a close call right there. Okay, lost Eldridge early. That's not good. Okay, this looks like a win. Yeah. Yeah, I see. These two carriers can take on anything. And Independence is usually the damage dealer. But yeah, that when she's buffed with the Cleveland in PvP, since everybody's got like all this evasion gear, her accuracy gets a massive buff, and you can feel it. Ah, too easy. I'll try this one. More or less a quick win. More or less. That one could be trouble. Prince Rupert. Not seen this combination before. I'll go for this one. I'm surprised you haven't encountered the new Cancer Fleet in PvP yet. Oh wait, what's the Cancer Fleet? Do you think HMS Daring would be added since she was started in 44 but didn't commission until the early 50s? Started in 44, I think counts. I think, okay, if they're started in 44, in the middle of the war, I think that counts. I think they could include USS or HMS Daring. Oh, this one might actually get. Okay, Laffy made it through. Enterprise's skill did not activate. Actually, if Enterprise's skill activates here, it's a win. Okay, yeah. That was a hard fleet to kill. Surprisingly. Surprisingly tough nut to crack. Okay. Oh wait, is this the Cancer Fleet you were talking about? Musashi, Sovietsky, All Saints, Laffy 2, Jinsu Meta, Eldridge. Because to me, this is the hardest fleet I've found consistently. Alright, who's here? Nope. Nope. I've seen this fleet before. Too easy. Okay. This is to me, the worst fleet to face in PvP. Like, this is that one I said it could go either or with my fleet. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose against this fleet right here. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. It's a toss-up. Okay, this cut through the front. Okay. Enterprise's skill did not activate. That's bad news. Oh man. Okay. This looks like it might, if Enterprise hits first. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, that was close. That to me is the Cancer fleet right there. And my fleet could just as easily lose that fight as it could win it. And once again, Independence being a devastating damage dealer. Oh, that's an interesting one. Nope. 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 This one is the most interesting to me. I'm gonna fight this one. See how this goes. Okay. Okay, it's between these two, but this guy's at a higher level, so I'm gonna take him. Okay. I'm literally just trying to find the hardest fight and taking it off. It's all Saiyans Raffello Musashi, last B2 owners Jinzu Meta, the new Cancer fleet. Okay, I have not encountered a fleet with Raffello yet, but this makes me think I might hit the rename, like I might hit the reshuffle, trying to find one. I'll look for that fleet. So they use Raffello instead of Sovietsky Soyuz. The fleet I beat previously, but with Raffello instead of Sovietsky Soyuz. Okay. Oh no, wait, that was my last battle. Okay, shoot. Okay, I'll find another one. I'll have to find one later. All right. Well, I do have stuff I must do, and I have to go to sleep for one thing because I do have work tomorrow. Okay. And I'm just going to collect some of these things and collect my mail. Alright, and collect some milestones. And collect the Her Majesty's top secret itinerary again, which if you could stack this on the other one, which I doubt you can, but if you could, that would be spectacular. Alright. Well, I think I shall end the stream here. It has been a wonderful stream. And, yeah, I had a good time. I'm looking forward to the new USS event and, of course, the nurse skins, especially Washington's. Alright. Well, I would like to wish all you Shikikons a farewell and following seas. And take it easy, guys.